So, I'm going to start a series on Apache Kafka for all the automation engineers out there. The reason I'm starting this is that many times we see that many companies are using this Apache Kafka, and as testers and automation test engineers, many of us are not aware of like what actually is Apache Kafka, how it works, and how we have to automate that, and more like how we need to actually test that. So we will see in this series what is Apache Kafka, why we need that, and how what are the things that we test with Apache Kafka, how it is being used in different applications that we are using in different companies. So in this first video, I will introduce you to Apache Kafka and its basic terminology so that you'll understand what are the key terms that we need to get aware before starting with testing with this, so that like without being aware of these terms we will not be able to test this system. So I'm preparing this video to make you understand the basic terminologies, so that from next video I'll make you install Apache Kafka. I'll make you do some scenarios manually, as well as I'll see how we have to test this and how we have to automate. So all of these videos will come one after the other. So let us get started with our first video, introduction to Apache Kafka. So we will understand what actually it is. So before that, a few terms I would like to introduce here. Messaging system. So what actually it is, and after that slowly I'll take you to the key terms that we are using with Apache Kafka. So if you see the messaging system, what actually it is. So messaging system is something that help us in transferring the data from one application to another, so that like individual applications, they should more focus on what data they have to transfer to other application, and not much focus on how to transfer. So this messaging system will handle that process, like how you want to transfer the data from one application to another. Suppose you have multiple applications and that application is communicating with each other by sharing the data. Let's take Instagram and Facebook. So both are related here. So if we have to send the data from Facebook to Instagram, you have to use some kind of messaging system, so that data is getting transmitted and communicated in between them. So here we see two types of messaging patterns. The first one is point to point, other one is publish subscribe. So if you see point to point messaging, here when you want to ensure that a message is received by only one consumer application, so you have some requirement where you have, suppose let's take a messaging system like WhatsApp. You're sending a message, and you want that message to reach to only that particular person. So in this kind of system which you want to develop, you have to use this point to point messaging system. And if we see another system, it is called publish subscribe. A good example and real life example is a Dish TV. Like it has different channels, and anyone can subscribe to the own set of channels, so that like whatever channels they subscribe, they are available for them to see. So this is a publish subscribe model. So these are the basic two things. So Apache Kafka is publish subscribe model. So when come let's come to the actual terms here. Let's understand Kafka cluster. So what is a Kafka cluster? So here it says Kafka cluster consists of one or more servers, and each server we call Kafka brokers. If we have to say it in simple terms, it is group of Kafka brokers. So we will also see what is Kafka brokers. So I have a diagram for you. If you see that, see here. So this is the Kafka cluster. Whatever you are seeing here, this is the Kafka cluster, and it has two things. These two are called brokers, broker 1 and broker 2. Now let's see what is a Kafka broker. So if we see here, Kafka broker is generally a Kafka server. So Kafka cluster has group of servers, and each server is called Kafka broker. Here it's saying the same thing. Okay, Kafka broker is called Kafka server. So if you see here in this diagram, this is Kafka cluster and it has two servers. So each server is called Kafka broker. If we further understand different terms here, these are the most important terms you should remember, and this will help us further in understanding our further videos. So let's understand what is Kafka topic. Kafka topic is generally similar to a database table where set of data, similar data is stored. Like here example, user location data for multiple users. It can be a part of same topic. Okay, and each topic will have a topic name. So here if we see, this is each Kafka broker, it has a topic called topic A. Similarly broker 2 topic N. So each Kafka broker has a topic. If we see partitions, next terminology is the partition. If we see, records are further divided across partitions. Okay, whatever records is stored in the topic are further divided across multiple partitions. A topic can have n number of partitions, so a single topic can have any number of partitions. The number of partitions, how many it should have, we will mention at the time of a topic creation. So while explaining the coding part, I'll explain this part, like how many partitions we have creating. Like we have to decide it whenever we are creating the topic. So in this diagram also you can see this topic has partition A, it can have partition B, C, D, and this topic has partition N, so it can have any number of partitions. Another thing is offset. So every message in a partition, so whenever a message comes to the partition, it's assign an integer value called offset. So every message is distinguished by this offset value. If the offset value is 1, 2, or 3, that identifies that particular message. So here during processing those messages, a message with offset I is prioritized first before the message with offset I plus 1. It's like increasing order it will take. Next, producers. So producers are another key term here. Producers are those applications which produce the data to the topic. Like let's take Instagram is a producer, Facebook is a consumer. Instagram is publishing some data to the topic, and so it is called producer, and Facebook is consuming the data from the topic, it is called consumer. So producer publish data to the topic with the help of topic name. It is producer's responsibility to decide which message will go to which partition. So producer can mention while publishing that message. Okay, if there is no key associated, like if you don't mention that it should go to that particular partition, it get balanced between the partitions using this round robin algorithm. Round robin algorithm is generally something like it will go like if there are 10 partitions, it will go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Again it will start with 1. So it is called round robin. And another key term, consumers. Before that, here in this diagram, producer is this one. This is some application, this is another application. So whatever is writing the message is called producer. Whatever is consuming the message is called consumer. So if you see here, consumers compared to producers, consumers are little tricky to understand, because consumers subscribe to the topics and they're generally, label themselves under a group. We have generally consumer groups. Okay. And for any message to consume, it has to subscribe to these topics first, and it is present under some group. Here you can say consumer one group, this is consumer group. Under this, two consumers are there, consumer 1 and consumer 2. These are the partitions, P0, P1, P2, P3. So if we see this, here it says messages that are published the topic are sent to exactly one consumer instance. So whatever messages we publish to the topic, only one consumer will, exactly one consumer instance, those are sent to exactly one consumer instance, so that processing can be done only by one. This is to make sure that same message don't get processed twice. So for that purpose only we do that. So if all consumer instances belong to the same consumer group, then the records are load balanced. Okay, example here he has given. Let's say there is a topic which has 4 partitions, P0, P1, P2, P3, and there exists, this is the consumer groups, and 2 consumers we have, consumer and consumer 2. Kafka now will try to divide the total partitions across all available consumers. That is, each consumer will process the records of 2 partitions. So how many consumers are there? Based on that, it will try to allocate. So if there are greater number of consumers, then number of partitions in topic. If the number of number of partitions is less and consumers are more than that, then one of the consumers will have to sit idle. So they may not be able to process any message. If a new consumer joins the group, some of the partitions are reassigned to new instance. Similarly, if any instance dies, its partitions are reassigned to other consumers. So it will happen like vice versa. Another important term, Zookeeper. Zookeeper, it keeps it's a software, just a piece of software. It keeps the track of the status of the Kafka cluster nodes, like if they are alive or dead, if they are in which state, running state or not. So all those things, this Zookeeper will keep track of that. And also it keeps track of Kafka topics partition. So here I have attached a simple diagram where you can understand high level what all we have discussed. Kafka cluster is generally a group of Kafka servers. Kafka server is a broker, and broker has topics, and topic has partitions. Producer produces the message, consumer consumes the message. Okay, here this is the high level thing. I think it has, you can understand more while you read about this, but for as a tester or automation engineer, if we know like this high level things, that's enough, so that we can it helps us in testing that process, as well as while automating, like you'll understand what actually we have to do and what actually we have to automate. So in the next video, I'll explain how to install Apache Kafka on macOS, and after that we'll try to create a topic. We'll try to create consumer will publish some message, will consume some messages, and in the another video we will see how to automate this process. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, please share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you need more videos with respect to any other topic, I'll try to get videos on that, and will try to explain to the best of my knowledge. Thank you so much, and bye bye.